That's right. Come on, baby, let's go now. We can dance if we want to. S S S S H H H H A A A A N N N N E E E E Y. Shane, Jive Talkin, motherfucking bitch. We can jive if we want to. We can leave your friends behind. If your friends don't like Shane, then they can go and die. Yeah. Jive Talkin with your best friend, it's Shane. It's time for the news at hard rockin' sweet heavy metal fucking news. Oh hey! A little bit of dance. Threw in a couple dance steps there. Might be shocking because you guys mostly only see me from about the stomach up, but that's for a good reason, okay? Because I'm a fat person. I don't want you to see all the negative bits of me. I just want you to see the stuff that I get paid for. My money, my muscles. Okay? People say I got skinny legs to thin legs. Big torso, thin legs. That's what they call me in some parts of the world. That's what they call me in the Indian casinos, is a big torso, thin legs. Get back here. You didn't pay your dinner. Well, I'm losing everything tonight. Welcome one and all back to another fine edition of Jive Talkin with Shane Diablo. This is episode 125, I believe. 125 episodes, which conveniently just coagulate together. You could jump on any old one of them episodes if you're new here and just listen to any one of them, because I really think they're going to hold up over time. And then, of course, in like the Fallout days, I've been watching that, 219 years from now. We've already talked about this. My intros will be the only thing left for people to listen to. I'll become some kind of a god figure. All of that, okay? Let's get into the news. I welcome you. I want you here with me. It's always, this is my what do they call that when they see the therapist? This is my therapy session. This is where I get all the wiggles out. So let's get into it. You ain't going to believe it. This hot potato right here. Boy, he sure is just James Hetfield, and he sure is shaping up to be a very attractive older man. That Lars Ulrich is falling apart. He looks like a little gargoyle. He keeps bending more and more into the front like, yes, master. Yes, master. This guy... Give him a handgun, put him in a sci-fi movie, and there he is for you. And then, of course, you got Lemmy. Rest in peace, dear sweet Lemmy. Well, James Hetfield shows off a new tattoo, you ain't going to believe this, with Lemmy's ashes in it. And James Hetfield says this, because it can't be Lemmy from the grave saying, without him, there would be no Metallica. But that is James Hetfield, and he is saying, without Lemmy, there would be no Metallica, which I agree. Motorhead's, I mean, that's right there with Black Sabbath, isn't it? Motorhead, Black Sabbath, which is Deep Purple, the Zepp Boys. Would you put the Zeppelins in there and stuff? Metallica frontman James Hetfield has paid tribute to Lemmy Kilmister in the form of a tattoo containing the late Motorhead lead singer's ashes. They mixed it in. In prison, I think they use, well, I've been watching a show about prison, and they say that they burn up tissue paper and use that as ash to make the ink to get the tattoo that says, the teardrop by the eye that says, oh, I've killed a man. Don't you not think of that? If you're wondering, if you ever had a thought in your mind, if I killed a man, it's right there on my eye. You don't even need to ask. You can see the teardrop. That means I've killed. There's one guy that's got like a whole stream of them. Tiny little fella. It's a Netflix show that I'm watching, Unlocked. And the tiny little guy, I think they call him Tiny or something like that. He's got like 6, 7, 8 teardrops. So you watch out for the little people. That's what I'm telling you. Hetfield unveiled his new tattoo on Metallica's Instagram page. Oh my God, please let the photo be on here. Late Tuesday night. It was very late. The tattoo sessions run late sometimes. They do. And the tattoo artists love that when they charge you $100 an hour. Tuesday night, April 16th, explaining that he took the iron cross and spade imagery often sported by Lemmy and had it tattooed on the middle finger of his right hand, so the iconic Motorhead rocker is still able to fly the bird at the world. Okay. So he got the little symbol on the bird so he could flip everyone off in the audience and say, it's not me, it's Lemmy. This is for Lemmy. They say, oh, Lemmy's flipping us off? Okay, that's great. Let's see. With the steady hand of friend and tattoo artist at Corey Miller Tattoo, this tattoo. And that's it. A salute to my friend and inspiration. Yeah. 'Cause nothing else matters. Mr. Lemmy Kilmister. Without him, there would be no Metallica. Black ink mixed with a pinch of his cremation ashes that were used so graciously given to me. So he opened up his bullet. Remember, we talked about the Lemmy bullets that everyone seems to have? Ricky Rackman has one. They were handing them out. Rob Halford had one. So James Hetfield, of course, he's going to get one. He's fucking James Hetfield. He's the lead singer for the biggest heavy metal band in the world. Is there any other position to be in? When I die, give that guy a bit of my ashes, please. So now he is still available to fly the bird to the world. Metallica paid tribute to Lemmy on its 2016 album Hardwired to Self-Destruct, which came out less than a year after the iconic rocker's death. It's a song called Murder One, which was the name of Lemmy's amplifier. His favorite amp on stage, James told 95.5 KLOS radio station, and yes, and I love being murdered every night by the thing, man. He was just such an icon, such an inspiration to us as a band. There's certainly no way we'd be around if there was no Motorhead. Well, did Lars put Motorhead in the ad? That's what I'd be curious about. The ad in Melody Maker, or wherever he put that ad in the paper saying, looking for a band. Because I want to say, I know he said Tigers of Pantang. Get in the comments and tell me what he put in that little ad that James Hetfield read that they found. Because I think they would have, That's not to take away from what James is saying here. There's certainly no way we'd be around if there was no Motorhead. And, to see your idol, your immortal one, actually be mortal, it hit us pretty hard. So I felt lyrically, it makes sense to acknowledge him and how much he's meant in our lives. All right. I think we're done with that, right? Congratulations to him. I mean, I love Lemmy. I love, Kill by Death is one of my favorites. I love that song, Eat the Rich, too. I know a lot more Motorhead songs than that. I'm just saying some of my go-to tunes, Killed by Death, Iron Fist, Eat the Rich. What was that one off that 1940? Was it 1940? I can't remember what the album year album was. But there was a really good jam tune on there called No Voices in the Sky. And it's a really good tune too. So check that out if you're interested. Kiki Loureiro. You thought you'd never see him again. I don't know if I squared all these pictures up before I got into it. And you didn't see that. Okay? Kiko Loureiro to sell. If you was wondering if he was ever going to come back to Megadeth, he's not. Because guess what? He's having a big sale. He's having a big online sale, and you might get your hands on some stuff. Kiko Loureiro to sell Megadeth guitars, amps, t-shirts, and more next week on Reverb. Now, I don't know what Reverb is, but I've heard it before. Is that some kind of an online auction site? Maybe they'll tell us. But man, when you're selling the amps and the guitars and the t-shirts and the bumper stickers and the picks, I want it out. Because he said something to me on the phone, and I'll tell you right goddamn now, my family comes first. Get it out. Or maybe he just wants to make, have a couple extra bucks. Take that beautiful family on a vacation. They deserve it. He gets to vacation all over the goddamn world. Why can't they go? Maybe his wife said that. You sell that shit and take us on a vacation. From now through next Wednesday at 10 a.m., fans can preview the gear that will be available to purchase from famed former Megadeth guitarist Kiko Loureiro via the Kiko Loureiro Reverb shop. They better give us the web address. I want the link, the .com. Known for his time in both the legendary thrash metal band Megadeth and the Brazilian power metal band Angra, as well as his solo project, Kiko is finally willing to part with a number of pieces of stage and studio played gear, along with the personal items like sweatbands, t-shirts, and his Gracie Barra Brazilian Jitsu gi. So Dave Mustaine made him do that on tour. They had to get in the gis and wrestle each other. And as soon as he was out, he's like, take that fucking thing and throw. All of which will be available to fans and fellow music makers alike when the items in the shop become available for purchase next week. What's on that list? Highlights from the official Kiko Loureiro Reverb shop include a surprise Gibson Les Paul Modern that Kiko played on 2 songs every night during the 2022 Megadeth tours. A few acoustic guitars, including a Gordon Multiac ACS SA Grand Concert, Jesus, used on the tour all over the world in 2023. A Gordon Arena Pro CW, and an Ibanez GA6CE-AM, used on tours in 2019, 2021, and 2022, as well as a backstage and hotel room for practice. So he's telling you right there, that freaking Ibanez, he took that in his boudoir with him. He said, yeah, I played it on stage in 2019, 21, 22. Fuck 20. 2020, we didn't do nothing. Shane, you remember what we was doing in 2020. But then he would take it back to his hotel room, too. A couple of well-used Kramer models. Only famous people can say well-used in their ads. You got to say, like new, almost brand new. When you're a rock star, you say, well-used. This couple of well-used Kramer models like the SM1. A super portable DV Mark Neoclassic 1x12 guitar speaker cabinet. A DV Mark multi-amp for the Megadeth jam and rehearsal room. Several Neuro DSP Quad Cortex units that have been main pieces of me Kiko's touring rig since 2022. Some non-gear extras like Kiko's sweatbands, a few shirts, and even a Gracie Barbera Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gi. I'm pretty sure that'll go right away. You might want to put a bid type of situation on that and say, by the way, guys, I never wash it. So it's got the DNA of me and Dave Mustaine. And the guy, the Gracie Barbera guy, the guy that was there with us, has got his DNA too. Because he gave me a couple jumps, a couple of swings. Some non-gear extras like Kiko's weapon. Okay, to preview all of the gear that will be available for purchase in the official Kiko Loureiro Reverb shop on April 17th. Click here. What's the link? Reverb.com/news/ okay, we're not do that. Last November, the Brazilian-born Kiko who lives in Finland, announced his decision to extend his absence from Megadeth. the touring activities, explaining that he didn't want to hinder any of the band's plans for the hard work, the credible people involved in the tour. Yes, we remember reading all that. Let's get into it. You saw a little peek of this guy. That's Michael Anthony, happy as a clam, this fella. Have you ever seen Michael Anthony unhappy? Maybe the day they said, we're kicking you out of Van Halen. But then the day that the smile came right back when Sammy Hagar picked him up and said, hey, pick yourself up, little buddy, you're coming back with me. Michael Anthony says David Lee Roth he's kind of a crazy guy. And I think he means that in the mental sense, like he's not a wild and crazy fun guy. He's like a crazy guy. So we get into this a little bit. You know, I mean, Dave's just his own person, right? Can't we just be our own people? During a March 2024 question and answer session at the Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp, Michael Anthony spoke about the upcoming summer tour featuring him, vocalist Sammy the Sam Man Hagar, guitarist Joe Satriani, and the drummer Jason Bonham. That's a pretty rockin' little thing there that will focus largely on the music of Van Halen. Have you heard of them? I threw a TikTok up that said, let's argue, greatest party rock band ever in the world is Van Halen. That's when the keg parties happen. That's when you're young, you're fresh, you're new, you're horny, you're going to your keg parties. You got a girlfriend named Denise. You can't wait to get with her. You get to the party. You could play all of the Van Halen records and the Hagar records. That's what I was trying to say in that TikTok. All of the Van Halen, everything. Van Halen, Van Hagar, greatest party rock band. Because when you finally get to the making out stage of the party, that's when you put on the Van Hagar. Let's see what he says. Asked how tour came about, he said, well, Sammy and I figured it's 20 years ago this year that we did the last Van Halen reunion. And Sammy and I were talking about it. We're always reminiscing and stuff like that. We thought, gosh, 20 years. And who knows what's happening now? We obviously can't wait much longer. Sammy's an old man now. But we didn't want to wait any longer. And with Eddie Van Halen, the Van Halen guitarist, unfortunately passing away the other year, and Alex Van Halen drummer, he's still pretty much, I know he still grieves and stuff like that. And he doesn't really get out. He doesn't get out and play. And so Sammy and I wanted to get the music out to everybody. Why are you bringing up Alex? Okay, so he's just saying he doesn't do nothing either. And so Sammy and I wanted to get the music out to everybody because Alex doesn't want to do it. And we thought, what a better way, ... Let's get together and take it and play it. Someone's got to play it. Sammy, someone has got to play those tunes. The greatest party rock band of all time. I'm putting my hair back up, or let's just put the hat on for crying out loud. Okay, we're supposed to be getting to talking about Dave and how crazy he is. Asked if any relationship at all with Van Halen original singer David Lee Roth. Michael said, I haven't spoken with Dave in quite some time. The last time I actually spoke with him was when there was talk about a possible reunion thing. It's really crazy because I hadn't heard anything about Jason Newsted, Metallica, coming into the fold and doing the tour. And I got a call from Alex and Dave from a manager, Irving Azoff's office. Sounds like a manager, doesn't it? Let me tell you something, buddy. My name is Irving Azoff, and you're gonna be stars. Trust me, kids, you're gonna be stars. I mean, it just sounds like it. I am just really agitated today, ain't I? Irving Azoff's office some years back asking about my thoughts. They wanted to know my thoughts on things, on doing a reunion, a tour. And Joe Satriani was going to be the guitar player. And that was probably the last time I talked to Dave. That was, God, I don't know. About a few years ago, I forget, something like that. Dave's kind of crazy guy. It's hard to explain, Dave. We don't have enough time. But no, other than that, no, I mean, I don't have anything against Dave. And I've said, and he doesn't. He is he's Apple Cheeks. Michael Apple Cheeks Anthony. He is a happy little singing kind of bass playing fella. He doesn't have bad things to say. And I've said in the past to different people, whatever, that if the chance ever came up or whatever, I would definitely be willing to jam with him or whatever. In fact, I think the last time he did his last residency shows at the House of Blues in Vegas some years back, I was actually going to come to one of those shows and surprise him and come up and jump up on stage. Surprise. But unfortunately, we were playing a gig somewhere else in a very big venue, way bigger than House of Blues. Sammy and I were. But to answer your question, it was probably a few years ago that I spoke with Dave. Eddie Van Halen died in October 2020 at the age of 65. The legendary Van Halen guitarist passed away at St. John's Hospital in Santa Monica, California. I was thinking about this the other day. If I go, I'd like to be pumped full of chemicals and on a nice breathing apparatus. You know, I was thinking, when it's your time to die, do you want to? I don't want to die in the hospital of oh my God, his body was torn asunder, but the heart and brain are still pumping. I don't want it to be something, but if it's like, oh, he's now 90, I'm just kind of feeling like, I don't know, it's just weird. I'm thinking about like the home, when you got the whole family and, oh, Daddy, go off, head off, Daddy. I don't know. You get in the comments and tell me, how do you want to go? And doesn't even matter. Okay? Doesn't even matter. Lita Ford here. I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw this week that I just said, what? Lita Ford, was she asked to play in Led Zepplin? Now, she was in the Runaways, so she was back there in the 70s, the late 70s. And she still looks mighty, mighty nice. I mean, not to be a creepy, but I can't be creepy to someone that's older than me. But she's still taking good care of herself. But what is this all about? We don't know. Was Lita Ford really asked to play bass for Led Zepplin? Is this wise tales or what? Let's see if she tells us. In a new interview with Guitar World magazine, Lita Ford was asked about the time in the 1970s when she was supposedly approached by Led Zepplin about possibly playing bass for the band. She said, the Runaways, Lita's then band, were playing at Gazzari's, or the Starwood, in West Hollywood, California. I'm having trouble with names because those places aren't there anymore. It was upstairs. Yeah, it was at the Starwood. It was early Runaways days. You could tell we were like 17 or something. But Jimmy Page and Robert Plant came to see the show at the Runaways. Were quite the novelty, being teenage girls that could rip it up, kick ass, and rock the house. The places were always packed with fans. And our manager at the time, Kim Fowley, said, okay, girls. I was like, okay, girls, now listen here. Gather around, girls. I got something to tell you. Let's get a picture with you and Robert Plant and Jimmy Page. I was scooched in there like, oh yeah, great. I grew up listening to them and I was still growing up, becoming a young woman. Robert Plant said, we're looking to replace our bass player, John Paul Jones. You gotta be shitting me. And I thought, I'm not hearing this. I refused. Is this Lita that's telling this? Robert Plant said, Robert Plant We're looking to replace our bass player, John Paul Jones. And I thought, I'm not hearing this. I refuse to believe this is really coming out of his mouth. I thought, he's going to be joking because John Paul Jones is God on the bass. As far as I'm concerned, when did Lita Ford play the bass? That just came to me just at this moment. Because in the Runaways, she played guitar and did high leg kicks. He's God. But as far as I'm concerned, but that's what he said. And I walked away just thinking, oh, that was nice. That was nice of him to look at me like that. Oh, he was looking at you. In those days, a lot of people didn't look at us as musicians because we were female and we were young. They never took us seriously as musicians. When the interviewer, thank you, Andrew Daly. When interviewer Andrew Daly noted that it's interesting they wanted you to play bass since you're a guitar player. Thank you, Andrew. Lita responded, I got into the Runaways because they heard I was a bass player. I have played bass for a few shows in a local band in Long Beach, California, covering for somebody who got sick. Then everybody thought I was a bass player, so I don't know. But that was what came out of Robert Plant's mouth. I was like, nah, he didn't really say that. But he did. Back in 2016, Lita offered a slightly different version of what Plant told her, some 40 years earlier, telling rock and metal revival. Hey, we don't need a revival, okay? We are alive and well in the heavy metal community. There's no need for a revival. It's just a rockin' metal vival. My rock and metal revival about online reports about how she supposedly was asked to be played bass in the Led Zepplin band. How'd you get that job? Well, see, there's a misconception there. And the press just took it out of context to what really happened. And if you read my book, which is now on stands everywhere, the book says all Plant really did was ask me if I played bass. He said, "You don't play bass, do you?" It's not like he came up and said, "We want you to play bass for Led Zepplin." That's not what happened. He'd watched the Runaways play. Him and Jimmy Page, I think, was there, came to the show, rocking good. I saw him out there. It was awesome. And Robert Plant said, You don't play bass, do you?" I said, "For who?" Because John Paul Jones was one of my favorite bass players ever. I'm losing my mind. And I didn't know what he was talking about. And I thought, for who? It wasn't in my vision there. That same year, or do we got Fib and Lita over here? We got to change her name to Fib and Lita. That same year, she told Goldmine about her encounter with Led Zepplin. Well, I love John Paul Jones. I knew all his bass lines because I can play bass as well as guitar. At the time, I knew all of his bass lines. I didn't know they were having trouble in the band. I had no idea. So all Robert Plant said to me was, "You don't play bass, do you?" That's all he said, and I went, "For who?" And he kind of looked around the room, and I looked around the room, and I walked off. First of all, I didn't know they were having trouble, and I'm a kid, and I'm a chick. I've already got a band that I fit in, and I don't think I would have fit in Led Zepplin. People don't believe me, think I'm lying about it. Well, you have told a couple of different versions of it. Just like Gene Simmons talking about his fakes. Did you just watch that video this week? Gene Simmons is lying about his hotel groupie. He's a fibber. Ford recently completed. Okay. Oh, long-awaited. Let's give her a pimp here. Ford recently completed work on her long-awaited new album for a tentative late 2024 release. The upcoming follow-up to 2012's "Living Like a Runaway" was once again helmed by guitarist, producer, pardon me, my God, Gary Huey, who contributes some. Gary, I did not mean to burp on you across your good name. The burp came, but it shouldn't. No belching should ever happen over the good name of people. You can burp in a sentence anywhere you want, but not across the name. Okay? Gary Huey, who contributes some guitar playing to the disc alongside the rest of Lita's longtime backing band, consisting of guitarist Patrick Kennison, drummer, Bobby Rock. You know where I know him most famous for? The VVI. Get in the comments if you know what that is. And bassist Marty O'Brien. Okay, there's enough of that. Really quickly, we got a couple more nugs here to get through, guys. Shinedown. I know we got some heavy fans of Shinedown. Do we have any heavy fans? And I don't mean that in a rude way, but of Jelly Roll. Have you heard of the country pop rock singer Jelly Roll? His whole life has changed. He's an overweight fella. He's got tattoos and stuff, but he sings some songs that are, I haven't heard them per se, but I've heard that they're just unbelievable. Well, Brent Smith says, he's kind of teasing people, saying there's going to be a collabo between Shinedown and the Jelly Man. I call him Jelly Man because we're tight now. But Shinedown's Brent Smith teases possible Jelly Roll collabo. It might be in the works. Those are in quote marks. It might be in the works. Renowned vocalist Brent Smith of Shinedown recently joined host Eric Zachary, 2 first names, for the price of 1, yes, as the latest guest on the Spout podcast, where he delved into a plethora of topics. Maybe we'll get into a couple of them, ranging from music collaborations to fitness routines and the profound lessons learned from influential women in his life. That's a good boy. Watch the full episode below. No, we just read. During the podcast, Smith revealed the exciting possibility of a collabo with country star Jelly Roll, stating, quote, 100%. It might be in the works. I mean, I don't know. If I say it, it's probably going to happen. When Mr. Brent snaps, you listen. Speaking about Jelly Roll, he's going to have some wonderful things to say because you can't get a collabo going with somebody if it's not in the works. If you say, he needs to take one of my fitness routines. So let's see what he says here. Speaking about Jelly Roll, Smith expressed deep admiration, highlighting the mutual respect and affection, saying, we just have a mutual love for one another and just care so deeply about who he is as an individual and his story. It's beautiful. Smith went on to say, this man, Jelly Roll, is the real thing on so many different levels. He could not be more genuine, a more genuine individual. This has got you through the door. He's calling you right now. Brent, it's Jelly Roll. Book the studio time, baby. I'm coming over. You know it. You don't say he couldn't be more genuine. Talented as all get out. I remember when, we brought him out with us in 2022 on tour. Who is this? And I'm like, just get ready, man. I told him. Jelly Roll 2. I said, man, you are about to get into the most amazing rocket ship that only you can captain. Ain't nobody else can fly that ship, Jelly Roll. The conversation turned. Shinedown's latest single. The conversation turned now. The latest single, A Symptom of Being Human, which recently soared to the top of the charts. Mark, have we heard that? I don't think we heard that. Marking the band's 19th number 1 single. Reflecting on the song's genesis, Smith shared, "The song came from the fact that we're all a work in progress." I 100% agree with that. You know, we wrote the song in the midst of a pandemic when everybody was going through an array of emotions. People were angry. They were sad. They were lonely. They were frustrated. In a lot of ways, Symptoms was a gift because it kind of utilized us as a vessel so that it could be born. A song is born. Smith also touched on the evolving landscape of music genres and how Shinedown's catalog is now being discovered by younger audiences. We don't really write music inside of a vacuum, nor do we write in a box. And what I mean by that is, and I will explain it to you, to us, we're inspired by so many different styles of music and so many different types of prolific songwriters that they go from all sides of the spectrum of music. We don't handcuff ourselves creatively. We never have on any record. So, it's not to us about, what? It's not to us about, it's not a reflection of whether it's pop music, rock music, rap music, country music, metal. However you want to look at it, it's all about music. And I think that for us, too, we've always had a way of discussing the human spirit more than anything in our songs. Beautiful. He's a good guy. Beyond music, Smith, a dedicated enthusiast. A dedicated fitness enthusiast offered valuable tips to Jelly Roll for jump-starting a healthy lifestyle, recommending a simple, let's go, baby. A simple yet effective starting point, he said. Go outside in the sunshine and start with a walk. It will change your mood quickly. I will tell you this. I can be in a bad mood. I get on the treadmill and I do my really, really hard, fast walking, almost to a jog. It's just to the point of a jog, but not to a jog. And I'll go 3 miles. But I'll tell you what, no matter what, when you get off and your heart's pumping, you feel damn good about it. Let's cut it off right there. Go outside, get some sunshine, because he's going to say something about my son saving the life and stuff. We got stuff to do, guys. I wanted to see this real quick. We do have your comments. I'm a little nervous on battery life. But we've got this from Slipknot. We're going to watch a quick portion of video from Megadeth doing an acoustic on the front porch of a hotel. And then we got your comments. So Slipknot is teasing something with a mysterious new billboard. They're going to fire somebody else. They're gonna pull that little tug off there and say, "Clown, guess what? You're gone." To Corey Taylor, you're gone. I've been watching that Fallout. Have you been watching that? I'm not familiar with the video game. I could never figure out how to do the controller. And I cannot play. I can do pretty good with like a Gods of War with a controller like that. But when you get to the first person where you got to look around and you got to do all that shit and you're just seeing your hands, I can't do it. So I know that it's a video game because I bought it for my son and I spent thousands of dollars on shit like that for my son. So I know the video game. So I'm watching the series. I'm 2 episodes in. I'm really liking it. I love dystopian stuff already. It's got that Walter Goggins in it. He's great. Jeez. Okay, Slipknot has reportedly placed a cryptic new billboard in Indio, California, teasing an event related to the 25th anniversary of the band's debut album. They play Coachella. I see Coachella here. A photo of the billboard was which was erected near the site of this month's Coachella. Oh, fucking smart. And last October's Power Trip Festival was shared by the band's fans on Reddit. It contains the Slipknot logo plus the phrase "one night only" and "long may you die." Also included is the URL youcan'tkillme.com. That was available. Are you kidding me? After the .com explosion, that youcan'tkillme.com was available? The Slipknot's got all the money. They said, oh, they only want $2 million for it? Yeah, fuck it. Let's get it. Which points to an old school style website launched last year that contains a list of Slipknot's upcoming tour dates as well as details of the band's 1999 Slipknot album. There is also a full biography related to from the same LP. Slipknot arrived on the scene in 1999 via Roadrunner Records and was eventually certified double platinum by the Recording Industry Association of America, RIAA. Although it is considered by many to be Slipknot's official debut, it was preceded by the independently released Mate, Feed, Kill, Repeat. That has Kosefny in it. They didn't even put the guy's name. Anders Kosefny. In 1996, an effort which was recorded prior to singer Corey Taylor's addition to the band. Say his name. Say my name, say my name. What song is that? Is that one of them old R&B numbers from the 90s? Say my name, say my name. Or is that a gospel song or something? Back in 2011, readers of the British metal magazine Metal Hammer voted Slipknot the best debut of the past 25 years. Over 16,000 fans voted in Metal Hammer's special 25th anniversary poll, with Slipknot managing to grab almost a third of all votes cast, beating off... Jesus. Slipknot managed to grab almost a third of all votes cast, beating off competition from the likes of Guns N' Roses. They were beating off Guns N' Roses, Korn, Machine Head, and Pantera. Okay, we're done with that, guys. We're done with that. Let's get into a little bit of this. I think they're going to do Trust, and God love Van de Buren over there. The drummer just has to sit there and tap his legs. And there's our pal, James Clemenzo, season 26, Amazing Race. Of course, you got Dave Man was saying, he says, where did I put that guitar pick? I might have to ask Timu. And then, of course, you've got Timu right there. They're going to get into this. I hit this to line it all up. You're going to hear an ungodly blaring horn before they get into it. And then I think we'll just listen to a little bit of it, but I'm pretty sure the audience, you can hardly hear the guitars or anything. It's just people screaming. Here we go. Yeah. Timu! Oh my God, am I right? Are you kidding me? Do you see what's going on right here between Timu and Dave? I forgot a pick. Timu, do you have one? Oh, yeah. Of course, boss, I got one for you. I will always have a guitar pick for my friend, Dave Mustaine. I will always have one in my pocket for you. There will never come a time when you can say, I sure could use a pick that I don't have one. Guys, we got to hear that blaring horn again because we need to watch those hands there. I believe Dave says, do you have a pick? You got a pick? I don't have a pick. Dave, oh, James Clemenzo saying, Dave, I've got a pick, Dave. Oh, what that? Well, that's one of them big, thick bass picks. I don't like those. Yeah. That's all you got? Yeah.
All right, sing. Okay.
Okay. Does Dave own this hotel? I don't know. Yeah, Van de Buren's over there like, wow, this is... He's such a sweet guy, too, that... Ole, ole, ole. Come on. Yeah. Trust. I don't know the words. James Lomenzo, always professional, always great. As we say our last goodbyes. Yeah, Van de Buren over there. He's got to tap the legs. This guy says, I don't know what it is, but I don't like it at all. Crossing my arms, I stand behind these fools. These fools sitting up here in the chairs, I don't like it. It don't sound good at all. This music is no good to my ears. We lie to each other so much that ain't nothing we trust. There ain't nothing we trust, yeah. Time and again, she repeats, let's be friends. Let's be friends. I smile and say yes. Smiles and says yes. Timu very good at holding the beat too. Professional. It'd probably be amazing to go to Brazil and people singing your songs. Okay, we're done with that. Guys, it is time for the best part of the whole damn podcast. Hand-stamped and delivered down to every government building you could imagine. It is your comments. That's right. It's where you reach out to me. Every episode, let's be honest, there's nobody at this point. Nobody listening to this. If you're looking at any kind of an analytic sheet, it's like, and it's a tank. I should probably say all that at the beginning. You got a comment, you want to put it down here. These smart and fantastic and fine folks have figured out the plan. They have broken through the fourth dimension. They understand the situation, and now we read their comments. Mike Buchanan coming in here, and he's got some stuff for us. I've been on a kick of bad 80s horror movies. So with that, I give you this week's movies that are bad, but we love them anyways. Night of the Comet. Wonderful, wonderful movie. Anything that takes place in malls for some reason for me. Dawn of the Dead. I don't know why. Oh, what was that other one? It's really old too. The robot killing inside the mall. God, it's good too. But yes, Night of the Comet, 1984. Earth gets an extra special Christmas present when a comet brings on the zombie apocalypse. In the night of the comet, period. And who better than a pair of teenage high school girls to fight off the armies of darkness? It is perhaps the absurdity that makes this film such a beloved cult classic. Catherine Mary Stewart, and one of them I had a huge crush on. Probably about the same time I had a crush on Christy McNichol in Eight's Enough. Is that what she was in? Catherine Mary Stewart and Kelly Maroney are perfectly cast and do an excellent job at capturing the light-hearted comedic undertones of this campy 80s horror comedy. Night of the Comet is a fun adventure with thrills, scares, and laughs. They came, they shopped, they saved the world. Grab your favorite beverage, sit in your favorite chair, pop some popcorn, and press play. Good stuff. Let me have a drink in my Wawa. Sucking them down today. Mike Buchanan on Joe Elliott. I got that you want your fans to have the greatest experience at your show, and while I do agree with some of the songs need embellishment, not all songs do, and certainly not lead vocals. That's all I have to say about that. I know you guys are just kind of, with all the backing track stuff, it's like, it's old news now, isn't it? But, you know. Mike Buchanan on Motley Crue. Does the world really need country hip-hop Think long and hard about that. And if you answered yes, please change your name to Kid Crew. My name is Kid Crew. I'm going to tell you a very quick story about when one of my bands, broke down on tour, and we were in Sunnyvale, California, and our van was broke down, and we were at a mall by by one of those tire or mechanic centers of some sort, and this great guy kept coming out and trying to tinker with our van to figure out what was wrong with it. Turns out the dumbass that plays guitar in our band bought the wrong kind of battery for of the big ass van that we had. So that's what caused all the problems and put a whole kink into our tour. So we're stuck there, and this kid says, well, you can come stay at my house. And we're like, oh, okay, I guess we can get out of this van for the night, And I hope I've got the town right, because it was swirly, goddamn twisty, turny shit up a mountain like I have never seen in my life. And the whole time we listened to the entire Kid Rock album. It was about an hour ride. And I'm telling you, he was twisting and turning, and we got to the top of the hill. And I'll tell you at another time about what happened at the top of the hill, because they had a biker bar there we went into, and maybe some Californians can tell me what this is. There's a biker bar at the top of this mountain, and they get drunk or something, and they race their motorcycles down this trail. And I guess the trees on the other side are all torn to shit because they die. But it's like some kind of you race down and you're the coolest guy in the world if you beat the time. I don't know. Anyways. But yeah, we listened to that because I guess it was fresh and new. This would have been about when it was like just come out, or but the whole pow with your pow to bang to bang, and I'm in the back seat of the car like this, pow with your pow to bang to bang, and I'm just like, oh my God. I think we all need a water break after that chug. Mike Buchanan on Bon Jovi. Okay, I get he still wants to do it for the fans. But seriously, he left his fans back in the 1980s. Ooh. He's not written a good metal tune in like 30 years. He's now more of a light rock kind of guy. Now, hopefully, he will sound better singing after his surgery, and no, he will never hit those high notes again. Yeah. Once they're gone, they're gone. Think about that. Start in a stoner band. Have a career as a stoner band. Then you just say, by God, he sounds just like he did the first song they ever wrote. Mike Buchanan on Dave. I myself always tell my sister on Siblings Day, what sister? And yes, she and I have a great relationship. She gets a daily dad's joke via text from me and gets upset when I miss one day. That's sweet. It's nice that he was able to get to see his sister, if even for just one day. Hard to lose a loved one. It is. I do agree with that. The only thing that threw me off about that story was it didn't seem like he was reaching out. She was reaching out on the FaceTime iPad. And he went, oh my God. It's my sister on the phone. I haven't talked to her in 20 years. I felt like he didn't make the effort. You think you'd try to make it if they have a debilitating disease that's, 10 years in, you go, maybe I should call Susan. Now it's time for Mike Buchanan's Jive Talkin Jokes of the Week. Breaking news. My wife wants me to choose between her and my career as a reporter. Film at 11. My yoga teacher came from Jamaica. She teaches the Pilates of the Caribbean. Oh. I'm having trouble organizing a hide and seek league. Good players are hard to find. I threw a ball for my dog. It's a bit extravagant, I know, but it was his birthday, and he looks great in a tuxedo. I was just thinking to myself, I wonder if somebody clipped all of the dad jokes and put them together in one long thing. I feel like you could go to sleep to it. Like, you know, you like clip all of the audio, all of the dad jokes out of every episode, put it together. It's going to be about 2 hours long, and you could put it up and sell it as a calming thing before you go to bed, or at least something to enlighten your evening. Go to sleep to that. You don't wake up, you know, thinking of, you know, Satan trying to tickle your goodies, you know. And finally, 2 giant windmills are out on a hilltop. One turns to the other and asks, "What kind of music do you like?" The other one says, "I'm a really big metal fan." Oh, that's the way to end that. What a delight. Miss Althea coming in. We've been doing the Gazette, that band, and I've been liking it. But I try not to listen to too much. I'm afraid I'm going to listen to something, then someone's going to go, "You got to do it on the first listens." But I can't not listen to music. I have to. That's why I usually do playlists. You do playlists on the Spotify or the Apple or whatever? I love playlists. I listen to an 80s hardcore punk playlist. I'm realizing I love Youth of Today, Minor Threat, Angry Samoans, and Gorilla Biscuits quite a bit. And Germs. It was crazy because I'm sitting there thinking to myself, this song popped on. I go, "Is that Darby? Is that Darby Crash from Germs?" Sure as shit, I was right. Okay, Miss Althea, here we go. The Def Leppard backing track debate. So, Joey confirmed / validated that specific songs like Rocket have required the use of an additional track for years. And that was pretty much a no-brainer to begin with. Yeah. There's no way he's playing that with one arm. Beyond that, is it really a topic worth discussing and dissecting at this point? All things considered? ? Yawn. Motley Crue. Miss Althea on Motley Crue. Unless I misunderstood that was what was being said, because I was driving to work at the time, I thought one of the DJs on either Hair Nation or Ozzy's Boneyard claimed that Nicky admitted on his socials that the country hip-hop hybrid statement about Crue's new music was a belated April Fool's joke. I started to think about it and was like, after, you know, Tommy Lee was talking about how rough and tough and cool their new songs are going to be, I was like, it was a late, but you can't do April Fool jokes after the first, period. So it doesn't count. Whether or not this is true, I don't know. I do not care. Isn't it a joke within a joke anyway? ? I repeat, yawn. John Bon John Man Jovi. I had no idea there was an issue with his vocal cords that required surgery, or at least I am not remembering hearing anything about it. I never heard it. I am actually thankful that lends some credence to the less than stellar concert footage of a year or so ago, including your video autopsy. I think I even had a few choice words at the time. Who, me? But I had no clue there was an actual medical situation in play. See, that's me too. I'm going to tell you something that no one's ever going to know about if they don't listen to this video. And maybe I've mentioned it once before, but there's one video on my channel that I completely deleted, that I got rid of. And I'm going to tell you what that video is right now. And it has to do with, okay, I'm going to tell you. Here we go. Some of you might go, "Oh yeah, you've already mentioned that." I have deleted one video from my channel, and that was when Ozfox from Stryper fell down at the concert. And we didn't know right at the time that it was a brain thing. And so I did kind of a little fucking goof video about it. And It hit every bad nerve. As soon as I realized that it was that he had some kind of a medical incident, I deleted the video. Because right out of the gate, it started getting bad. People seemed to know something I didn't know. So now you know that. There's a fun little fact. See, sometimes when you wait until the comments section, you get extra little fun little facts, okay? Medical surgery in play. I've been out of the loop with Bon Jovi for a while now, but all the best to him in his continued recovery. I still can't believe one of his sons is engaged to Millie Bobby Brown, by the way. Who was I just hearing about Millie Bobby Brown? Like someone was creeping up on her. Was it P. Diddy? I can't remember, but someone was like trying to give her a call or something. She was the freaking Stranger Thing girl, right? Miss Althea on Dave Mustaine. I guess his family dynamic explains a lot of Megadeth lyrics, and kudos to him for being so open and honest about it all when he otherwise could have chosen to be super private. Bringing it to the public maybe, and hopefully is, therapeutic for him. Okay, I see where you're at with that. I'm just calling into question the phone call itself. And how quickly he wanted to get something. I would be curious if someone goes back to his Instagrams and see if every other year on that date he's put up something for National Sibling Day. Miss Althea on Marilyn Manson. He's been sober and clean for 6 years. If that is actually true, I'm on the fence, to be honest. Then good on him, but unfortunately the fact has been trampled by all his other drama, which I do believe to be true, despite court decisions being overturned, etc. I'm telling you, and I'm not even saying that hey, they knew what they was in for, okay? If you're going to his house, you're going to get put in a cage over there against their will. I'm saying they're probably right on the money, okay? Miss Althea on Overkill. At the very beginning of the video, dude, Derek, something like that, said, rehearsal day 2, no blitz. Oh. Guess they didn't need the guy to bang it out. And I thought it sounded pretty damn decent. Yeah. So he did. So the guy, the feller there, the guitar player, I'm not familiar with their names, all of them. So he said, rehearsal day. Hey, it's rehearsal day 2. No blitz. Is that how he said it? Rehearsal day 2. Hey, no blitz. I guess they didn't need the guy to bang out decent, rock jams. Hey, I got through this without saying anything about He Day, the Gazette, or the love of my life, Eric Carr. Well, now you did, right? I was just thinking about Eric Carr. What'd you put? You put in a comment. Oh, was it the Gene Simmons video where you were talking about how Eric Carr was you saying Eric Carr was there at that thing, but they kept him off stage or something? Those two were always going to take the spotlight, no matter what. It doesn't matter if it's Peter, Chris, Ace Frehley, or whatever. They're going to say, like a plunger right down get out of the way. We're the stars. You're just a little cat. You're a little space freak. Okay, we're the real stars here. Very good, Miss Althea. There you go. There's your heart. Oscar coming in. Marilyn Manson is just as clean and sober as the space ace. And there's been some rumors that Ace has been drinking. I can't decide. Oscar says, I can't decide which I like better. Your impersonation singing of Dave Mustaine, Danzig, or Bullet Boys. Keep up the good work. Well, I like my Danzig, but we don't like him. We don't mention him. He gave me a strike on my channel. Mr. Glenn Danzig himself. I showed you the image. Go back and look at it. Mr. Glenn Danzig gave this channel a strike. I say, Not going to do it. Thank you, Oscar. Still Oscar here. And the opening picture of Joe Elliott looks like a witch many bands could use in a video. Down's Witch Ripper, Am I Evil, The Conjuring, and most all metal bands. Oscar says, what are songs am I missing that talk about witches? I'm sure your and my friends here could come up with 75 or 100 songs that have the word witch in them. Witchy woman. Which will it be, my love? Will it be the cat nine tails, or will it be the board? Yeah. Okay. See, as soon as someone says, "I bet you couldn't name 10 songs that says dark in it," has the word dark in it, your brains go to hell. Now, when I stop thinking about it, I'll blister out 75 of them. There's your heart, good friend there. Thank you. Daniel coming in. Early Crew was raw, hard rock with metal overtones. I don't know much about the recent endeavors, but from Theater of Pain on is just glam pop metal created for the sole purpose of appealing to a mainstream audience. He's not wrong. It sold records and paid the bills. Don't get me wrong. And I didn't, because I said you're not wrong, so I did not get you wrong. Christian Haynes, you might know him from Torn Sky. He says, hey, John, don't blame God Almighty for your vocal issues. He's talking about John Bon Jovi. You're getting older, man. And concerning Def Leppard, they are great musicians and singers. However, they only have 3 good albums. Well, hell, everything after Pyromania blows. Mutt Lang might disagree with you. My opinion, of course, that's what he says. Keep rocking, Shane. I will. And he got a thumbsy-upsy on that. I'm going to say Mutt Lang's, what is that? What is that album called? The one that pours some sugar on me and all that. Every single song on there is catchy. And that album sold so many albums. I'm going to go ahead and say everything after that album blows. What was it called? Was it Adrenaline? No. Yes? Pyromania. And then, what is it? Get in the comments and tell me. We got Luis here. As far as Motley Crue is concerned, I think they are leaning towards something more gentle on Vince's vocals, going the route of speaking out the words instead of the once high vocal belting out of the past. They may lose much of their 80s metal audience, but might gain some from the newer country hip-hop era. Who knows? I, for one, don't like rap or hip-hop. What about country? I ain't gonna lie, I like me some rap. I like me some hip-hop. Just songs, random songs from here and there. I like, just here and there. Just a hip-hop tune or two. What was that Itching Up a Scratch song? I like that a lot too. Itching for a scratch. If you haven't heard that, go listen to it. Itching for a Scratch. Louise here again. Why criticize? I'm talking to Chuck and Chris Holmes, your 80s metal brothers who are still out there busting butt on stage around the world. ? Def Leppard have a great reputation, and I couldn't imagine they would try to shortchange their fans in any way and tarnish their reputation. Go Def Leppard! And then Luis has a keep on rockin'. Then he's got a little emoticon of a guitar, a little emoticon of a hornsy upsies, and an emoticon of thumbs. So there you have that. Get out there, seize the day, do the thing, breathe deep, take a walk. You heard Brent Smith, didn't you? Weren't you listening to Brent Smith when he said, get out there, get out in the sunshine, get the sunshine on your cheeks, and then take a nice long walk? Didn't you hear him say that? Didn't you hear me read that story? That's what you need to do. You need to go out, and we're going to do a song today, guys, with my embellishments on it. But let's see. Get out there and seize the weekend, seize the day. Clean up that trash you've been looking at for 5 days. Whether it's in your neighborhood or in your house or in your, an alleyway somewhere, you've been seeing a bunch of clutter there, clean it up. Let's get into it. Itching for the scratch. Let's get a good tone. Jive talking with your friend Shane. Motherfuckers, you're gonna go insane. You love it real good. Have your brother rockin' news. Cars in the street, cars always honking at me. Jive talking to my ears on the road. Jive talking to my thighs all the time, shit. Turn the light now. You've been sitting there forever. The open road is fine. You got your blinker on. Now turn, go. Ha 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 ha.